Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, May 9th, and I'm your host, Kristen McDonald. This week on Norwood News, the LEAD program celebrates Cinco de Mayo. The Masons honor Norwood's Teacher of the Year. But first, earlier this week, Superintendent of Schools Tim Luff announced Cindy DeRain will be the next principal on the Hill. Cindy is an accomplished educator who has served the students of Norwood High School for more than 30 years. She started her career as a Spanish teacher at NHS in the early 90s. Over the years, she has served as department chair, assistant principal, and most recently, associate principal. Luff shared feedback from the interview process, which highlighted her deep dedication and support for NHS, her strong relationships with staff, her extensive experience and knowledge, her motivating leadership qualities, her vision for the school's future, and her genuine care and passion for students' well-being and success. Ms. DeRain will officially begin her role as principal in July.
I, first spoke to my family and was grateful for their support. Without that, I would not have moved forward and into the process. And I am just so, like I said, I don't mean to keep repeating myself, but grateful and humbled by all of the people who have supported me. So I would thank Superintendent Luff and central office staff. Dr. Galligan has been an amazing mentor for the last 7 years. George Yusevich before, I started my career. George raised me in these hallways as an educator. So I will always be grateful to George. And the whole staff has been so supportive and amazing. The kids have been so sweet, the notes and the hugs in the hallway. And, Facebook can be a little scary, but I haven't seen much of it. I've tried to stay off, but people have said that it is very, very supportive. So I'm grateful to truly the entire Norwood community. It is a privilege to have that kind of support, and I don't take that responsibility lightly.
The Norwood Community Garden has been a labor of love for one special Norwood resident. Last weekend, a stone was dedicated to Susan Clare, the garden's founder, for her tireless support and hard work, which helped make the dream a reality.
She's a fabulous friend, an advisor to many of us, and a tireless force of nature behind this garden's success. So, to wrap it up, Susan, I hope this dedication helps you realize how much you are loved and respected by all of us, and how grateful we are for your vision and drive. So thank you, Susan Clare, from all of us. And we're going to have you come over here and
It even has our logo on it, George. George made our logo.
he did. George made that logo. It came out awesome.
Wow.
He also made the logo for the Trails Committee. So.
Last year, the general manager of 4 Point Sheridan, Shamala Ghosh, faced an emergency involving one of her employees. The employee had difficulty communicating her symptoms due to a language barrier, which made the situation even more challenging. Ghosh wanted to help her employees communicate more effectively, so she partnered with the Norwood Library to offer ESL classes directly on site at the hotel.
So I remember one day one of the housekeepers was working in one of the floors, and we had to make a 911 call because she was having a medical emergency. And she is from Brazil, working here with probably no English, We speak the language of smile. That's what I always say that. And we were trying to find an interpreter so that we can try and find out what's going on when the paramedics were here. And my heart just broke because, we are lucky enough to find individuals who can actually help us translate. And all I kept on thinking is these days, yes, the big hospitals have translators, but the urgent cares or the smaller doctor's office, they don't really have translators. And if somebody has to communicate the basic issue or problem they're having, it's going to be a challenge. I live in Norwood. I heard about the library, Norwood Library, having the literacy program. So I had this vision in mind because I wanted to provide a safe comfort zone. It takes a lot for the adult to go back to school or go back in kind of teaching. So I decided to reach out to these amazing ladies, Kirsta David and Norma Logan. They run the literacy program.
Yeah, she actually, Shumala Ghosh reached out to us. She's the general manager over there, and she just gave a call to our office one day and said, listen, I have a lot of employees that could use your services. I heard that you have tutoring for people that want to learn English or improve their English. And what do you think about partnering with us to bring something offsite to, it would be on-site over there, but off-site for us. And so that's how the conversation got started.
So when we received the we introduced this program, we had a sign-up sheet in our employee cafeteria. I would say I got a response of 40 individuals. Okay, so we had to break it down by levels. These are individuals who speak decent English. I think the perception was they're signing up for ESL, but it's technically not really an ESL program. It's a little different. So we had to basically break it down by levels. Someone who has no idea of any of the English words, or someone who has a little bit of knowledge in spoken English. So we decided to break it down in 3 different levels. And last year we started with 2 levels, and this year we have 3.
The pilot run of it happened in fall of 2023, and we had 2 different tutors, and one of them was a retired history teacher, and they were going to take on 10 students and 10 students. So we served a total of 20 students in fall of 2023 in 2 different classes, and it went so well for Sharon's class that she said, can I just keep going? Do we have to end at the 12-week mark, or can we keep going? And all the students wanted to keep going. So her class kept on meeting, and the other tutor couldn't because she had other obligations, but it went so well that Shumala said, let's do another run. And so we did, and this time around we had 3 different tutors serving about 16 students, some of which were repeats from the first round. Yeah. So it really kind of took hold, and we're hopeful that it'll keep going beyond the first 12 weeks, the initial 12 weeks again. So,
so first and foremost, the Norwood Literacy Program requires you a commitment of 12 weeks to be in this program. So I decided to commit to the first 12 weeks where the hotel will pay for the 2 hours that they meet on a weekly basis. I will provide them with the meeting space free of charge, and providing that environment that is more comfortable. They know the hotel, they know the individuals who are they meeting with. And then make it a point of constantly encouraging them, whether I walk through the hotel, meet them, just listening to them, making sure those managers are supportive, and having those communications more in English so they're getting more confidence in their operation. So that's how we support at the hotel.
We were lucky to find tutors who wanted to go off-site. I mean, this is one of the first times that we've ever gotten into a project that was off-site. Everything is right here. Our tutors and students meet here, sometimes in neighboring libraries also, but this was the first time that we actually had to coordinate and administer something off-site. So it's been a learning experience for us.
I am so grateful to these 2 individuals, wonderful ladies. I had a vision in mind, and they are the one who made it happen for me. I know the program is very popular. Currently they do have a wait list, but they literally helped me bring this program to the hotel and to my staff.
And a lot of people don't know that we're here, and the more that we get the word out that we do have this program in the library, and it is a service, so a lot of other people find out that way. So that we can reach out to the community and know that we're here and that we can serve adult students. I think it's important to PR, I guess you'd call it.
Absolutely. The managers constantly say that they're more confident. They're trying to basically converse in English. I have seen how their morale is boosting, and that's what I wanted. I constantly want to help them. I'm an immigrant, so I understand it's pretty scary, and I want to give them that confidence so that they can live their life here.
When Norwood News returns, Keeks tries a delicious treat at Lewis's, Sophie Brogadier shares what's happening in school news, and Kiki Thaxter has the latest in sports.
Tune in weekday mornings at 8:15 for one of New England's longest-running live broadcasts of a high school news program. NHS Update is produced by a dedicated crew of students who arrive early each day to bring the latest school news directly to classrooms and beyond. Using professional-grade equipment provided by Norwood Community Media, these students gain hands-on experience in live TV production while learning the various roles needed to create a fast-paced broadcast. The show covers everything from school news, announcements, and upcoming events to highlights from clubs, sports, and the arts. Special guests often join the broadcast to promote their events, and school administrators use NHS Update as a platform to communicate with the entire student body. NHS Update has opened doors for many students, with alumni going on to pursue careers in communications, broadcasting, and video production. Tune in every weekday at 8:15 a.m. for the live broadcast of NHS Update on the Community Channel, right here on Norwood Community Media.
Norwood's anti-scam task force is continuing to spread awareness of scams. This week, they traveled to the Senior Center to share information on various scams targeting seniors and others. Anti-task force member Amanda Groh briefly recaps the discussion.
Sure. So I'm chair of the Board of Selectmen, Amanda Groh, and today we've had the Norwood Anti-Scam Task Force here at the Senior Center to give our Scams 101 presentation. So we basically walk everyone through what kinds of scams we have discovered as the task force, how much scamming is happening both nationally, locally, and right here in Norwood, talking about techniques that people can use to keep themselves safe from scams, what to watch for, and where to go if they've caught themselves, if they've become caught in a scam, where can they go to get help?
Each year, Norwood's Orient Lodge coordinates the Teacher of the Year Awards. Last Friday, after reviewing all the nominations, the Masons hosted a fun-filled night celebrating all the nominees. Mariah Holmes, NHS Latin teacher, was named this year's Teacher of the Year.
The Teacher of the Year for 2025 is Mariah Holmes. 2025 Teacher of the Year presented to Mariah Holmes, Norwood High School, in recognition of your outstanding commitment to education. May 2nd, 2025. And we have a check for you, and we have a check for your school, and we have a plaque to go with that, and we have a second plaque, which I think you put in the school, so everybody gets to know about that.
I'm humbled. I'm in a room of amazing people. It's been very touching to hear the anecdotes shared by your colleagues and individuals affected by all of our work in this room. And I'm so grateful for the students I've had here in Norwood, some of whom are so extraordinary, all of whom are so extraordinary. I'm so grateful to have the kinds of students I have this year, especially who seem to be so in love with learning, and that's a really nice thing to see. And I hope that we're all seeing some of that love of learning coming back into our classrooms after a few years of great difficulty as we're navigating some very difficult and uncertain times following a global pandemic, the effects of which are truly innumerable. And I think we're finally starting to see a turnaround there. So I hope this is a turning point for Norwood. And I hope that we all continue to serve our students the best we can as we do every day. Thank you.
Did you know that May is Mental Health Awareness Month? Mental health is an ever-present topic in our world today. Ron Marshallsea shares the story of someone from Norwood who does his part to spread mental health awareness.
Andrew Cronin, Norwood resident and member of the NHS class of 2017, has been putting his body through the ringer every September for the last 4 years by completing the Murph Challenge. The Murph Challenge, usually done around Memorial Day and started by the Lieutenant Michael P. Murphy Memorial Scholarship Foundation, is not just a physical test, but also a mental and emotional one. Anyone who attempts the Murph is pushed to their limits by completing a 1-mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and finishing off with another mile run. Andrew found out about this workout by a friend in 2020, after the pandemic had sent everyone home.
I was studying abroad in Spain. I got sent home because COVID started. I was at the Cape with my best friend Liam McAleer. He came up to me, he's like, "You want to try out this workout? It's called a Murph." And I was like, that sounds terrible. Like, I surely can't do it, but I'll try, right? So we actually did it along the Cape Cod Canal. There was a pull-up bar there. We ran it. He was a beast. I can't even remember if I finished it. If I did, it might have taken 2 hours, but extremely grueling. It was hard. I was like, finished it, I'm never doing this again.
Andrew did do it again, every day for a month, this time in September of the same year. The question is, why? Why would anyone will themselves to go through that every single day?
And so then going into September, I was going back to school. I went to UMass and all the classes were online. And I was thinking, like, I need something that will keep me from just like sitting around the house all day, because I was never gonna leave. Me and Liam started doing them in September, and like 3 days in, he calls me, and it was brutal. The third day he calls me and he goes, "Yo, like, I don't know why we're doing this. This is so difficult that I need a reason to think about that'll keep me doing, because other than this, we're not gonna finish this. We don't have the will." And then it was his idea. He said, "September is Suicide Awareness Month. Why don't we do it for that?" And I thought it was a great idea, especially because suicide is something that's affected my family, my immediate family. My father committed suicide in 2018. So when he said that, I was like, book it. And then the rest of the month was a lot easier.
The first year, Andrew and Liam kept their reason for continuing to do it between the two of them until the end of the month. They both used social media to recap and reminisce about September and how important mental health and suicide prevention is. They counted on the workout being tough, but what they didn't count on is how much their posts could potentially help people.
Because especially for men, it's not something that gets talked about a ton. And so at the end of the month, me and Liam wrote something about suicide. It was very nice, posted on Instagram, and then I recorded a video myself for like 2 or 3 minutes talking about it. And I was so nervous when I posted, I turned my phone off, threw it away, and I turned it on again the next morning. And I had like 80 comments, and there were like 20 or 30 people DM me, and 5 or 10 of them were people that I didn't even know, just saying like how this helped them so much, and that kind of blew my mind. So after that was the first year, I was like, yeah, we're gonna keep this going until the wheels fall off. If anyone needs to talk about anything or wants to pick my brain on this stuff, I find that the way through a lot of these issues is just like reaching out when you need help and talking about it, you know? And I don't have the hubris to think that there's much more I can do to fix this issue or anything besides that. But that's something I'd be happy to do. So
To see what he posted the last few years, as well as his daily Murph times, you can head to his Instagram. Andrew often shares on his story other people's Murph times as well, and many of them have been on this journey with him for a few years.
Liam, who I've mentioned a couple times, me and him, we started this together. So he was there from the beginning. There's a long list of people that have done it and been supportive. It goes up some years, it goes down some other years. Kyle Condon, I think we got on in the 3rd year. He's been huge. Coleman Ivory, I think he stopped doing them like a year ago, but he's a beast. My cousin Jack, for sure. Max Kane has been big, posting it, spreading awareness. Nick Salas is another kid. And I'm gonna forget a bunch of them, but maybe 2 years ago, we had like 15 people doing it at once. Friends I met when I was in Colorado, a lot of Liam's friends because he went to Mass Maritime, from Mass Maritime. And it's cool because to varying degrees, everyone will post things or just, you know, kind of get the word out there. And for a couple of the years we were raising money, we've kind of, this year, for various reasons, not even trying to raise any money, just trying to get awareness out there and see people talk about it. You know, and all those guys have just done that. So the message would be that because I've seen suicide, because it's affected me personally, before this challenge, I thought about it a lot in my life. It's just, whatever, curiosity, or it was something that was very present. And something that I thought about it, the reason, because the two can seem very unrelated. What does having to do this hard workout every day for a month have to do with suicide prevention? And I find that when you're really struggling with things, and especially people that are, you know, contemplating thoughts like that or down that road, the only thing I see that you can do to help yourself is to act, you know? And this is a challenge that's so difficult that no matter how bad, part of it is like, all right, you look back at the end of the month or even while you're doing it, and no matter how bad you felt, no matter how bad you felt about yourself, October 1st, you look back and you're like, all right, maybe I'm a loser, maybe I'm a piece of crap, but at least I could do that. And it's a way of empowering yourself, because the first year we were doing them, before even the challenge and the suicide prevention, and that summer, me and my cousin Jack Kelly, we did a Murph, and we were tired. We'd been working here a ton, and we would run together. We would always sprint the final stretch, and you call it emptying the tank. And right before we were turning the corner, I looked at him and I said, this right here, it was like 5:30 in the morning. I was like, this right here, this is something that nobody can take away from you. No matter what happens today, this is something you get up every morning, you do it, you put in that work, and no one can take this from you. And I strongly believe that you do that, and then you do it again, and then you do it again. You build the bricks of being able, like, forget what anyone else thinks, that you can look at yourself in the mirror and respect yourself.
Now let's throw it over to Sophie Brogadier for the latest in school news.
I'm Sophie Brogadier, and let's check out what's happening in our Norwood schools. In Norwood High School news, students went on a field trip to the Boston Public Library. Students, along with their chaperones, rode the commuter rail into Boston. Taking the train into Boston from Norwood was a great part of the field trip experience. Students who went on the trip are part of the MAP program at NHS. The MAP program stands for the Multilingual Accelerated Program. The MAP program is part of the ELA curriculum and run by NHS teacher Joey O'Connor. As part of the MAP program, classes meet with the NHS librarians Jennifer Bradley and Wendy Mannering weekly in the NHS library. The students have learned how to access library materials and resources within both the NHS and Morrill libraries, but also other libraries in the area, including Boston. The students have looked at the Boston Public Library website and resources accessible for teens. The BPL has an amazing teen center, multilingual staff, and incredible resources. The field trip included a train ride, visiting the Boston Public Library, lunch in the library courtyard, and walking through the Boston Public Garden. The library tour included checking out the teen center, understanding the physical library collection as well as the online collection, appreciating the architecture of the library, and locating books in their own languages. Students were also given library cards to have full access to the BPL's collection. This trip encouraged our students to be lifelong library learners. At the Callahan School, 4th grade students designed and 3D printed bubble wands. Students had a great time using what they created to blow bubbles. At the Cleveland School, several lucky 3rd graders rode to school in style last week. Jack Heenahan, Logan Phillips, Eddie Bartlett, and Bobby Steverman got the chance to ride on a Norwood fire truck and be greeted by all their classmates. Also at the Cleveland, students polished their serving skills and treated families to a night of pizza, salad, and music at the 5th grade Cleveland Cafe. The 3rd graders at the Oldham School recently held their annual Living Wax Museum. After choosing an influential person, they went through the research process to bring their person to life. They all did an outstanding job, and it was great to have their families in to see all their hard work. The Prescott School held its monthly Character Strong Assembly before break to honor the students nominated for Student of the Month for April. The character trait was cooperation, and students were recognized for getting along to solve a common goal and for cooperating with peers and adults. Congratulations to the Students of the Month for their role model behavior. From grade 1, Isla, Alex, Fiona, and Kirit. From grade 2, Cece and Shaunik. From grade 3, Leah, Ruby, Anaya, and Noah. From grade 4, Daniela, Caleb, Trevor, and Nell. And from grade 5, Paul and Keegan. All students then learned about the character trait for May, courage. Stay tuned next month to see their new nominees. In school nutrition news, the students at the Willett Early Education Center have brought their journey across America to an end in Hollywood, California. Many students dressed in their red carpet best and cool sunglasses to bring the Hollywood vibes to school. They walked the red carpet and received trophies for completing the trip through Read Across America. Norwood School Nutrition joined in the celebration by handing out bags of Smart Food popcorn for kids to enjoy with their favorite movie. In fine arts, a huge thank you to all the families, students, teachers, administrators, and community members who came out to celebrate the arts at the annual Norwood Fine Arts Festival with us. The visual arts, music, drama, and the television programs were all beautifully represented at the event with artwork displays and performances by our Norwood students. The arts are so critical to society. They foster creativity, preserve cultural heritage, and promote social and emotional well-being. The arts truly enrich the human experience. Congratulations to our Fine Art Advocate of the Year, Brian Riley, and to the seniors who won the Fine Arts Unsung Hero Awards, Chorus, Charlotte Kane, Instrumental Music, Aaron Wong, Theater Award, Eamon O'Reilly, TV, Charlotte Martino, and Visual Arts, Xander Allen and Angelo Gentile. That wraps up this week's school news. A big thank you to all the teachers who keep us in the loop with their updates. It really helps us see the wonderful things happening in our schools. Reporting for Norwood School News, I'm Sophie Brogadier, and now here's Kiki Thaxter with the latest in sports.
I'm Kiki Thaxter, and this is your sports update. The baseball team is on a 4-game winning streak after beating Dover Sherborne Wednesday 10-4 under the lights. The team was back at the Balch Field and took on Dedham Thursday afternoon. The game was moved up to 4:30 due to the forecast, which was the right call because the rain started to fall at the end of the game. Ryan Grenham had a great day on the mound, pitching 6 innings and 6 strikeouts, and the Mustangs came away with a 2-1 victory. They look to continue their winning streak when they take on Holliston Monday the 12th at 4:30. Softball beat Dedham 6-3 on Thursday afternoon and look to get another win when they go to Holliston on the 12th at 4:30. The boys lacrosse team was away Monday afternoon and lost to Medway. They were back on the NHS turf last night but couldn't get the win against Dover Sherborne. They will be back on the turf to take on Dedham on Monday the 12th at 4:30. The girls lacrosse team beat Medway on Monday afternoon in an intense 8-7 game. They were away in Dover Sherborne last night but could not get the win. The girls will face Dedham on Monday the 12th at 6 p.m. NCM got to know the seniors of the girls lacrosse team last week. Let's hear some of their favorite spring sports memories.
I'm Shay Larkey. I'm a senior on the Norwood High lacrosse team.
I'm Evan O'Neill, and I'm a senior on the Norwood High girls lacrosse team.
Hi, I'm Bridget Sopel. I'm a senior on the girls lacrosse team.
I'm Charlotte Martino. I'm a senior on the Norwood High lacrosse team.
I'm Emily Swidorsha. I'm a senior and I play Norwood lacrosse.
Hi, I'm Michaela Brown. I play girls lacrosse and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Pizza. I'm the Norwood girls head lacrosse coach.
My favorite TV show is Yellowstone.
My favorite TV show is Gossip Girl.
My favorite TV show is Grey's Anatomy.
My favorite TV show is Gilmore Girls.
My favorite TV show is Full House.
My favorite movie or TV show is probably The Vampire Diaries.
That is a really hard question. Right now I'm watching Degrassi, so I'd say that's my favorite.
Pre-game ritual is set the field up and eat some snacks.
What kind of snacks?
Usually some fruit and some Cheerios.
My pregame ritual is usually drink a Celsius and listen to some good hype up music.
My pregame ritual is stopping at Honeydew, getting a raspberry Red Bull and a bagel with butter, and then coming to the field and putting Bridget Sopel's hair in a slick back.
My pregame ritual is having Emily do my hair before every game.
My pregame ritual is to sit at the field and listen to some good music.
My pregame ritual is probably to go home and make a fried egg and then come up here and just get really locked into the game.
I usually come to the field with some candy and snacks and watch the girls set up the fields.
My favorite spring sports memory is Allie getting her 200th save a couple weeks ago.
My favorite spring sports memory is Topgolf last year.
Beating Holliston in overtime last year.
My favorite spring sports memory is our playing game last year and making it to a tournament.
My favorite spring sports memory was us playing Bellingham in Bellingham with weather under 30 degrees.
My favorite spring sports memory was playing with my sister my sophomore year when she was the goalie, and it was my first year playing defense, so she kind of bossed me around.
I think beating Holliston in the last couple seconds this season.
The boys' tennis team had a match against Dover Sherborne on Wednesday afternoon on the NHS tennis courts, but lost. They hosted Dedham Thursday afternoon and came out with a 3-1 win. The boys have a busy week next week with 4 back-to-back matches on the 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. The girls' tennis team lost to Dover Sherborne Wednesday afternoon, but couldn't get the win against Dedham on Thursday afternoon. The girls have a match against Ashland on Friday the 9th at 4:30 on the NHS tennis courts and will be hosting Holliston on Monday the 12th at 4 p.m. The boys volleyball team lost to Millis Wednesday afternoon. The Mustangs will be back at home on Monday the 12th against Westwood at 5 p.m. NCM interviewed all 3 seniors this week. Let's take a look.
My name is Mateo Diaz. I'm a senior and I play volleyball.
Hi, my name is Xavier Watkins. I play boys volleyball and I'm a senior.
I'm Sebastian Eugene. I'm a senior and I play volleyball.
My favorite TV show is How I Met Your Mother.
My favorite TV show is Lucifer. It's on Netflix.
My favorite TV show is, I'd say Rick and Morty.
My pregame ritual is I like listening to music before my games.
Yeah, pregame ritual, I'll eat some food. Doesn't really matter where. Just eat some food that'll fill me up and just listen to good music.
Pregame ritual? I don't really have one, but if I were to do kind of a pregame ritual, I'd probably just eat Skittles.
My favorite spring sport memory is me as a freshman playing varsity volleyball.
Spring sports memory? Just playing. Just the energy in the team. Everyone wants to be here, everyone wants to play. So.
Spring sports memory? Definitely when X set me, I went up to go attack. I completely missed it, but then I got up back on the ground and I still received it to get it over the net. It was kind of crazy.
Both the boys and girls track meets were canceled on Tuesday the 6th due to the rain. They hosted a meet against Westwood Thursday afternoon, and both boys and girls lost to Westwood. And that is all I have for this sports update. I'm Kiki Thaxter. And Norwood News will be right back after this break.
At Tuesday night's Board of Selectmen meeting, Kerry McCarthy, director of the Norwood Senior Center, updated the members on all the center's activities and services.
The Senior Center plays a critical role in supporting the health, well-being, and quality of life for our aging population. We strive to provide a safe, welcome environment where older adults can engage in social, recreational, educational, and wellness activities, helping to combat isolation and promote active, healthy aging. Some of our services, we have a transportation service. For years, we only had one senior center bus. We now have a senior center bus, 2 vans, and an electric vehicle. We have seen a significant increase in demand, particularly since the Norwood Hospital has closed. Our out-of-town rides have definitely increased.
The Board of Selectmen will meet again on May 27th. The Zoning Board of Appeals met this week and began the evening reorganizing the board. Mike Sheehan will continue as chair, and Shannon Greenwell is the clerk. A request for a special permit under Section 4.4.5 of the zoning bylaw for 153 Hill Street was motioned to continue to their next meeting. Public hearings for 163 Dean Street and Dean Street, Map 15, Block 18, Lot 9 were continued from the board's previous meeting and were both motioned to their next meeting on June 3rd. Following that, David Hearn spoke on behalf of Norwood Gulf requests for a special permit modification for 707 Neponset Street. Members of the public and the board asked questions. Ultimately, the board approved all of the special permits requested by Norwood Gulf. At this week's Conservation Commission meeting, Joe Greeley of the Norwood Trails Advisory Committee filed a notice of intent with the committee to install 3 permanent wooden walkways over a drainage swale. A drainage swale is a shallow, broad, and vegetated channel designed to collect and direct surface water, typically from rainfall or runoff, to a desired location such as a catch basin or storm drain. After some discussion between commission members, the project was approved. The Conservation Commission will meet again on May 28th. On this week's Living Local, we head down to Washington No. 7, a new restaurant packed with rich history. Located at 175 Railroad Avenue, Washington No. 7 brings a fresh dining experience while honoring the past. Let's look at what makes this spot so special.
So my name's Chanel Ganem, and I'm the owner here at Washington No. 7 Public House here in Norwood. So I knew I'm Lebanese, and I love food. We love food. It's like the most important thing that we know. The hospitality for us is number one. We love to please everyone with like how we cook and food and meals and gatherings. So this just made sense to us.
Chanel envisioned a warm and inviting space where everyone could feel right at home.
And that was one of the biggest challenges that we had before opening, to figure out, how can we be different? How can I be able to provide something, not provide something, but a space for the community here that's different from everyone else. And I think we narrowed it down by having 3 different sections. So you have the bar section, you have the lounge area, which we're sitting in right now, and then you have the dining. So there's a space for everybody, all ages. Everybody always calls this their living room. So every time someone sits down, they never want to get up because it's so relaxing. You just sit back, have a drink, chatting with your family or friends, and so you get like a little bit of home while you're coming over to my restaurant.
Washington No. 7 has a unique history behind its name and the decor that fills the restaurant.
In 1872, this wasn't actually considered Norwood. It was considered South Dedham, and there was a firehouse that was called Washington No. 7, and that was like the hangout spot here at the time. And it has so much history behind it, and not only being in like a historical building in itself, even before the chamois, I wanted to bring a lot of history back into this building because everyone who is from Norwood knows that the more historical and the more history you bring to something, the more people appreciate it. And that's something, also being a Norwood local, I wanted to bring to the restaurant. So the wallpaper, it took a while to us to get because it is customized, but it has a fire hydrant on it. It has a old, when you're an old paying meter, and I also have a very unique antique fire hydrant here from way back in the day. And so it's just important that I brought that into our restaurant to welcome the firefighters and the police officers. And we have an old original map of Norwood in our dining room, and everyone loves to come and take pictures and look at it because it's the original map of Norwood. And I have a picture over on our wall in the bar area of the old firehouse that had Washington No. 7 on it.
Following in the footsteps of a well-known longtime Norwood business, Chanel wanted Washington No. 7 to stand out and create its own unique legacy.
It was challenging, but I knew it took us 1.5 years to get this place opened, and the reason why is because we envisioned something, and to see it now come to life is crazy because sometimes you can never put on paper what you envision, you know what I mean? It sometimes never comes out the way you expected, but this 100% exceeded all of my expectations, not only for me, but also, for Tony and my uncle and even our family members. Envisioning this and now seeing it to life is so surreal. That bar, actually, we have recycled it. That is original from the old Shamrock. It was a horseshoe bar to begin with, but I wanted to expand the space to allow more people to come in. And so what we did was cut off the one side of it and move it back. It was in the middle of the restaurant. So by pushing it back, it made it way more available to host more people. And actually those bar stools over there are original as well. It's great quality, The only thing we changed about it was reupholstering the top of it.
Washington No. 7 has been warmly embraced by the Norwood community, who constantly step up to support their own.
Awesome, we've gotten such good feedback, and the volume from the surrounding towns as well, not just Norwood, has been amazing. People are loving it, and I love listening to their stories. They always sit down with me and they're like, I'm just reminiscing of the times where I used to come to the chamois, and now I'm coming, I feel like, to a whole nother world, and they start getting a little emotional when they talk to me about it because of how much time they spent at the chamois, and now they're coming to something that's totally different with a new concept and new face. Everyone's loving it, so that really makes us feel great too, because none of this would have been possible if it wasn't for everyone.
Washington No. 7 not only offers food, it has live entertainment available as well, as broadcasted a wide variety of sporting events.
So we do have an entertainment license here, and we've already had a DJ, we've had live music, so that's a trend that we're hoping to continue on, is live music every Friday. Trivia night karaoke. I've already had a baptism here. A lot of people go online and send us inquiries through our website, and I've gotten inquiries for baby showers and bridal showers, so private events is definitely something that we also do here.
To learn more about Washington No. 7, visit their website or social media channels.
Kiki Thaxter heads down to Lewis's Bar and Grill to try out a simple yet unique dessert pizza with special guest Brian Gagliard on her newest episode of Sweet Treats with Keeks.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sweet Treats with Keeks. There's word on the street that Lewis's has a Nutella pizza. It's not even on the dessert menu, it's on the actual pizza bar menu. So I'm gonna go test that out right now. Hey guys, so I am sitting here at the pizza bar in Lewis's. This is actually a new addition to the restaurant. It's actually really beautiful. But I also have a special guest with me today. He works at Lewis's part-time, so you may see him once in a while. Brian Gagliard, come on in. Come on in.
What's going on?
How we doing?
How we doing? Hello, everyone.
This is first time on Norwood News, so we're really excited about this. And Brian has a little bit of an in on what this pizza consists of. Have you ever made the Nutella pizza? Okay. Is it a classic? Like people get it a lot or? All right, can I do one of those, please? An order of Nutella pizza.
There you go. Here we go. All right, Kiki, do you want to see how the pizza's made?
Let's take a look, Brian.
All right.
We're here with Raul, sorry about that. And he's preparing the dough. I've actually never seen this go down like this.
Yeah, so this is a 14-inch. We do 14-inch pizzas here.
Yep.
And then, so it doesn't rise in the oven because we don't put any toppings on until it actually comes out of the oven.
Interesting.
So we dock it. So when it goes in the oven, it doesn't rise. So then it comes out of the oven. We put the Nutella sauce on it.
Yep.
And then with the bananas, we slice and fry off the bananas, and we carefully place them on with cinnamon sugar. And then, none other, this is my favorite part, our homemade cannoli ricotta sauce.
Oh, yep.
Which is
I heard
amazing
about
as
that.
a dipping. It's tremendous. You'll have it. And then to top it off, a little powdered sugar.
We just got our pizza here. This smells like something my grandmother used to make me. It's like a very heartwarming smell.
Yeah,
Don't you agree?
It is. It's definitely.
All right, Brian, let's cheers to this.
Good, right?
Wow. It almost reminds me of like a crepe.
What?
You ever had a crepe before?
No.
Oh my God, that's
Now,
delicious.
Try it with that.
Now we're gonna, crepe, it tastes like a crepe. Okay.
Try it with that. This is where it gets good.
So, this here is like a ricotta, sorry Megan, cannoli dip.
It's a cannoli ricotta, yeah.
Okay.
Homemade.
So, let's dip this in here, Brian.
All right.
Sorry, we'll double dip, but it's all right.
Try the banana too.
Yes. I think this has to be top Sweet Treats with Keeks. This is something that you really can't find anywhere else. This is. Give me a minute.
Try the crust. That's my favorite part.
All right.
Right back here.
Get another dip.
One dip, no flop. Yeah, that's a sweet spot. Sweet spot with Keeks, everybody.
You know it. You know it. Wow.
What would you rate it on a scale of 1 through 10? This is where we're doing ratings now.
I have to give it a solid 9. 9.
We like a good 9.
Can you tell us a little bit about the bananas? Because this is a new addition, right?
Yeah, so the bananas, when we first came out with it, the bananas weren't on it, so it was just pizza with the powdered sugar on top.
Yep.
And then when we added the bananas, so the bananas are freshly sliced, but they're also fried off. So the outer part is completely fried off, and then so they're just completely sliced, perfect normal, and it gives that kind of like the crisp, but also the coldness that you want to make it sweet treat.
And that's spot on right there. Spot on. Yeah, if you're looking for a nice sweet treat, definitely come down to Lewis's. You might see Brian here as well. All in all, rating it a 9. What are you going to rate it? I mean, you're kind of biased.
I love this pizza. On a sweet treat level, I'd say probably like a 9.4.
Okay.
Definitely a 9.4.
All right. Well, Brian, thanks so much for being a part of this. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, this one's a big wait, so I'm glad I could finally join the sweet treat.
So thanks, Brian.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, and make sure to stay tuned for the next episode of Sweet Treats with Peaks.
Move over, Gordon Ramsay. The lead classroom is teaming up with the Norwood School nutrition team again for another fun and flavorful cooking session. Let's go see what they are serving this month.
So today the kids made a little treat for the Savage Center staff to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. So we made a fiesta dip, which was cream cheese, sour cream, a little taco seasoning, shredded lettuce, tomato, and cheese with some black olives and some tortilla chips, a little festive dip. And then we made a watermelon and mint agua fresca. So the kids diced all the tomatoes, mixed all the cream cheese and sour cream, cut the watermelon, blended it all together, and then delivered everything with a smile.
Life skills, as you mentioned, is a big part of our program, and this is an amazing resource for the students. And so we'd love to do this every day, but I mean, it takes a lot of prep work, and when we walked in here, they were ready for us, and they had done a lot of prep work, and so we really enjoyed it.
So what we did today is we did the sauce for the taco seasoning, because we are trying to help out the people around here to help. Yeah, so I used to cut all the time, food all the time, like tomatoes, because never cut an onion because they make you cry, because we're trying to help out people to make food.
A little bit about not only knife skills, following a recipe, listening to instruction, but also working in an environment closely with other people, paying attention, being safe. Proper food handling is important. A little bit of customer service too, delivering the product to the right people in the right spot quickly and efficiently, and just having a little bit of fun.
Teamwork, working as a group, and they're loving it, and they love getting the job done and making something delicious and beautiful.
So the reason we started doing this was just looking for something to do outside of the everyday school lunch. We see the lead kids every day. They come down and order lunch from us. We know they go to places like Ace Hardware and NCM, and they go all these great places and do fun stuff. And we hadn't really done anything with them. So we wanted to find out a way what we could do, get our hands dirty, and give them some basic kitchen prep. They're gonna be cooking at home, hopefully. So holding a knife with confidence, mixing ingredients together, following a recipe. That really was the reason why we wanted to start doing this. Coming up with a little something that's easy, tastes good, and the kids will enjoy, and they could hopefully make it home later on.
Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.